All right, Rudy Giuliani arrived in Fulton County in Georgia today to turn himself in. I honestly, I feel like I say this every time we talk about it. I cannot believe that I am saying the words that I'm saying right now. I still can't believe it every time we talk about it. My mind cannot wrap itself around this. So Giuliani is surrendering himself at the same Atlanta jail where 2 of the 19 defendants charged in this Georgia election denialism case, whatever you want to call it, turned themselves in earlier this week. And I want to play a clip of him addressing reporters as he left his apartment building this morning. Watch.
Georgia, and I'm feeling very, very good about it because I feel like I'm defending the rights of all Americans, as I did so many times as a United States attorney. People like to say I'm different. I'm the same Rudy Giuliani that took down the mafia, that made New York City the safest city in America, reduced crime more than any mayor in the history of any city, anywhere. And I'm fighting for justice. I have been from the first moment. I represented Donald Trump, an innocent man who has now been proven innocent several times. I don't know how many times he has to be proven innocent, and they have to be proven to be liars, actually enemies of our republic, who are destroying rights, sacred rights. They're destroying my right to counsel, my right to be a lawyer. They're destroying his right to counsel. It's not accidental that they've indicted all his lawyers. Never heard of that before. In America, all the lawyers indicted. Now, whether you dislike or you like Donald Trump, let me give you a warning. They're going to come for you.
Where's the lie?
That was a great statement.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to take him seriously when he didn't have hair dye dripping down his face while he was sweating and under the hot lights.
Yeah.
That's a strong statement. That's a strong statement.
Well, you bring up a good point because, he mentions everyone says I'm different. I do think that there was this sentiment that he's gotten a little bit crazy. He seems a little crazy. Yeah. Didn't sound crazy to me at all.
He didn't sound crazy there, no.
And he sounded cool. He sounded cool as well. He sounded confident that I think he knows what a bogus case this is. And the fact that I love how he brought up his time as mayor of New York, fighting the mafia. And that's really what this is.
Yeah.
Our legal system, our lawyers, our judges have become the mafia. It's a tyranny of judges and lawyers, and they have abdicated their responsibility to enforce to rule out the law in a fair way.
I saw somebody post a picture of Hillary Clinton and saying, look who's not currently being indicted and turning herself in right now. And it was this picture of Hillary Clinton. I'm like, but that's the point, is that, if we're going to treat everybody equally and we're going to actually go after people who break the law, then she should have been the first one who was indicted and actually held accountable for what she'd done and said.
Yes. Now, I will also say, I love Trump, but he said that he was going to do that, and then he didn't.
Right.
And he changed his mind on that later on. And I mean, you have to wonder how badly he's kicking himself on that now.
Talk about great debate moments when he's like, you'd be in jail. That line was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That was the moment he won in my
I was like standing and cheering in my living room when he said that. And then what? Nothing happened.
Right.
Nothing happened.
Right, I know. Well, because I think that he has this proclivity to just want to be liked all the time. Like he wanted to work with the Democrats. He wanted to believe the best in them because he just wants to be liked, I think, at the end of the day. And he doesn't think the way that they think, which is we've always got to be 10 steps ahead of our enemies. And they do believe that we are enemies. I'm not saying that. I'm speaking for them. And so, we've got to go for the jugular every single time. We're not playing by the rules. And unfortunately, I think that Republicans are so slow to learn that, they're not playing by the rules that you have set for this game.
So you think Trump's going to be different this time around? If he's elected, he'll handle things a little differently than he did the first time?
I do think that he will feel a certain level of, I need vindication at this point. Now, whether or not that's good, I don't know. I don't think that that's a good way to run the country.
Right.
But I do think that he certainly has learned his lesson after 4 indictments that he did not drain the swamp.
I have talked to some people who are in his cabinet who they say are going to be part of his administration, and if he is elected again, who are already laying the groundwork. And this is what they tell me. I don't know. They're laying the groundwork for day one to shut everything down.
Really?
When it comes to agencies, the deep state, the problem that they had in the first administration is they ran into all these legal battles and these delays for 4 years, and they kind of learned their lesson. And I think over these last 4 years, they've been doing their homework and laying the groundwork. So the hope is that they'll flip the switch day one, and that's what they're telling me anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, Joe Biden has shown us, even if, and I'm not saying what they would do is unconstitutional, but the Constitution doesn't really matter because you just do the thing. And even if a court comes back later and says you can't do the thing, you've already done the thing for like a year.
Right.
And it really is kind of a moot point at that point. You've proven that you can just do whatever you want. Do you think that Trump is going to do you think he has a likelihood of going to prison?
Not to prison.
Okay.
I don't personally think he has. I'm not the best person to ask. We just make jokes on the internet, so it's weird that you're asking us. But I mean, I don't
what
think.
do you think Donald Trump's ultimate fate will be, Seth Dillon?
We'd probably get a few
As
good
an
jokes out of
expert,
it.
as an expert, I can say I have no idea. I don't think he would go to prison. But they might do everything they can to try to prevent him from being eligible to be elected, whatever that might be.
Right.
Whether that's constitutional or not, who knows?
Right.
We'll find out after it's too late. I don't know.
I think they know these cases are bogus, but it's a tactic to interfere with his campaign.
Yeah.
And I think they know that they'll most likely be thrown out. But if they can do as much damage as they can in the meantime while he's trying to run, then they'll do that.
Which I saw a Truth Social notification. I get notifications from them that pop up frequently, and one of them this morning was that Kevin McCarthy had said it was all like wording that was like that the Congress might be looking at an impeachment inquiry after they reconvene, and I'm like, oh, that's right. You guys need your vacation. I mean, it's not like they're indicting and politically persecuting the front runner of your party. So please don't lift a finger yet. Make sure, go get your vacation. Don't call anything special. Don't do an emergency session. It's totally fine. And then once you get back and reconvene, you might think about an impeachment inquiry.
Right.
That's great.
It's not very aggressive.
No, Seth, that's one way to put it. No, it is not. And I just wish that they would have the balls to just be like, we've got all of this evidence here. You guys impeached him over a phone call, which, by the way, again, I like to point out to people, the impeachment over the phone call in Ukraine was asking them about the corruption in Ukraine that we continue to get more and more evidence of every single freaking day when it comes to the Biden crime family. So
I love how he calls it a perfect phone call.
The most perfect phone call in
The most
history.
perfect phone. He still refers to perfect phone calls. I've seen a couple Truth posts recently with perfect phone call in all caps.
he did it like yesterday.
Yeah, he did it yesterday. Yeah.
This is like,
It was a
they
perfect
impeached me
phone
over
call.
a perfect phone call.
It's amazing. How is this a real person? I love it. It's so good.
It's true what you say, though, that if the shoe were on the other foot, the Democrats would have indicted the president 2 times. Or
They did it for far less.
Yeah.
They would have had him impeached already.
They did it for far less, and I feel like the Republicans constantly are like, well, we don't want to stoop to their level. We don't want to do like, okay, well, they're gaslighting you because this is actually a reason to impeach, and now they're making you think like it's just, oh, well, we don't want to stoop to their level.
Well, my question is can Biden actually make it through another term? And are they really going to run him as if he can? He's fading so fast. Like, we're watching it.
I know.
Unfold.
I
And
know.
it's on the one hand, a lot of these gaffes and whatever, they're comical. On the other hand, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And the people who say this is elder abuse have a point.
Yeah.
How long can that go on for? And how serious is it that Biden is actually a candidate for this election, which is still over a year away?
I know. Well, you keep wondering with every single bit of evidence that comes out in all of this, the Ukraine scandal with Burisma and everything that the committees are finding out. I keep wondering, like, is this going to be the moment where Democrats go? Because you got to believe they're on the edge of their seats. Like, okay, all right, we got to bring in Gavin Newsom. Well, how do we get Kamala out of the way? Because we got to bring in Gavin Newsom. And
Right.
you got to believe, like, every single day something new comes out that they're like, you go, is this the one that they're going to finally pull the plug on this campaign that we all know is not happening?
You've seen hints of it, too. You've seen a couple people in the media, even on the left in the media, talk about his age.
Yeah.
And, some of the issues with aging candidates. They're like kind of posturing and positioning for maybe we will have to pull the ripcord on this.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've
seen it.
I know. And they're doing it more and more every single day. The control room put that up and said, what? Do you mean to tell me this guy is not with it? No, in fact, he is not. Which, by the way, now that you guys are playing this clip.
Look at the deep breathing,
That's
too.
what I was going to say. Why, that heavy breathing while you're sitting is a problem.
Yeah. He doesn't look healthy when he's in that state. Yeah.
I mean, I genuinely, I would hate that this would happen, God forbid, but every time he stands up to give a speech, I'm like, is he going to make it?
Right.
Like, is he just going to collapse and have like some sort of event? And I don't mean the tripping and falling. I mean, like, he looks half dead.
Right.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.